myself and James had talked about animating the artwork for a long time. Just sort of vague ideas. After me and James would sit around and talk about how we could adapt the pictures, where we could make them into three-dimensional objects, whether we could use the sleeves, various sort of ways of kind of plastering them over the world in a way. And I suppose we never really got around to it because I did a bit of animation on a Eurochild image in about 94 after Protection. We got this animation done which we used while we were on tour. I built these giant figures of the monkeys and the Eurochild characters, the inflated guys. And so the first animation was quite at the time a high-end computer rendition, which was I tried to make it look slightly corporate and bizarre, and it worked. But obviously, when James wanted to work with Shinola, who just obviously they took it to a completely different level, and their unique style of doing very high-res stuff, high-rendered stuff, and very loose, sketchy stuff really, I think, kind of suits those characters well. And I'm really obviously very flattered that the characters be used. To be honest, I didn't have much to do with the film. I was involved in initial discussions. I think it was to make sure everyone was happy with the idea and no one's notes going to be put out of joint. But obviously I had nothing to do with the song in the end. I was going to do a vocal on the song, but I just couldn't. I thought the song really was what it was. It had a total form. I didn't really want to interfere with it. So I think what James did with the song was perfect. And in terms of the animation, I think once you meet the guys from Shinola, you can see where they're going with it, and you don't really want to interfere with their process either. So once we kind of established, I suppose, a few parameters just so everyone was happy, they got on with it, and I was very pleased with the whole piece. We had, along the way, made a few changes just to keep, just to sort of like, I suppose I felt a little bit. I wanted to make sure that some of the idea behind the characters originally came across in the finished film, and I think they did. I think there was an understanding of why the characters, what they're about, the kind of dark side of them, the kind of the sort of toy novelty thing, which is really kind of, I suppose, a contradiction in itself of what the characters are, and that really comes through, I think. It was great because I'd seen Shonola's work on, quite recently on the Pyramid song, and watched the showreel, and I was certainly aware of what they could do, and so I had total confidence in what was going to happen. But I was very kind of excited when I saw the piece because of the different levels of animation that were used. Some which were very, very kind of simple, and some which were very detailed. And I think also they brought something to the characters, bringing life into something which is quite flat and 2D initially, which is what I had to start with. Apart from the models I've made, they actually made them move. They animated them. They made them real, and you can never tell what's going to happen. They could sort of lose. For me, I suppose it really lost something in translation, but it didn't. They felt really authentic, and they felt the way I want them to be. And I think they brought something to it which I thought was really exciting.
Where you going, you're not coming back from.
I felt the film, like the song, and it because of its lyrics and its sentiment, was always anti-war, and the characters themselves. Some of the early drawings I did were not directly anti-war, but anti-global, anti-corporate, anti-oppression, really, anti-imperialism, and they were kind of representative of sort of either a corporate toy that could sort of basically kind of consume us all, which is obviously very corny, or the victim. The toy is the victim, the person who is subjected to that sort of behaviour. And I felt it was certainly relevant for it to be an anti-war message.